There it is.
Hello and welcome to another Woodshop podcast with Mike Coffey of Coffey Custom Builds, Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, and Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop. You can find us all as well as the podcast on Instagram and YouTube.
Welcome to episode 128 of another Woodshop podcast, where we remind you, if you ever find a magical genie lamp, you rub it 3 times, and when you get your 3 wishes, you wish for more Mike, more Dan, and more wishes so that you can have more Pete and a Casey's Pizza.
Yikes.
Oh,
You can never have enough Pete.
enough Pete.
Pete.
And on your
Petus.
Casey's Pizza.
On your Casey's.
That's a penis.
Well, that's a penis. Big thanks to our
PTUS.
patrons. You can, yeah, that's a big thanks to our patrons. That's a big thanks to our patrons. You guys are the best. New patron, Ed Mancini, coming in hot.
Hey,
Yeah.
So big thanks to Ed Mancini.
we saw
for
him at the thing.
sponsoring
He's a good dude.
We did. He's a guy.
He's a
Big
guy.
thanks to him. He's a guy.
Verified.
He's making change in the world by sponsoring the podcast. Patreon.com/another Woodshop podcast. Go check it out. Give us some love. Hey, guys, remember when we were sleeping in the same house last weekend?
I remember vividly.
That was crazy. We're going to talk a lot about that because we were just at Maker Camp. We typically do what's on my bench and then we go into voicemails, but we're not going to do that this time because we think it's more apropos. Now I can flip the page on my word of the day calendar. We thought it would be better to do all the questions first because a lot of them kind of roll into, Maker Camp talk, and we think our what's on our bench segment is going to just be that. Before we get into voicemails, though, I did want to mention next week we have Shar, the Wooden Maven, on the show. She's going to be joining us as a guest. So join us next week for that. She'll be joining us, and we have a long string, as predicted. We have a long string of guests lined up for the show, so we'll be making
Weird
more
how that
announcements about
works.
that.
It's really hard to say no to your face.
Go to it's really hard to say no. It's really hard to see your face. Say no to your face when you've been asked 9 times at the same event. No. So we're doing. We got a bunch of guests coming up, so we'll announce that. Big programming notes for you guys. We don't have like a transition song for going to voicemails, right?
Wait, I have some administrative stuff to bring up too.
Bring it up.
Yeah,
Bring it up, girl.
So one of the guests we were able to lock down, and this is confirmed pending, 100%
Definite maybe.
solid. We're just waiting to lock it down. Lizzo will be on the show.
Oh, that's right.
Lizzo.
We
Forgot about that.
locked down Lizzo. Who is Lizzo? Bang it. But we locked down Lizzo. Definitely we're all locked down on our end. We're
She's
just
a
waiting
world
for her to
famous
confirm.
Flautist.
Flutist.
Oh my god, I love
Yeah.
flautas.
Which is great because we already
a
had
good
a
flautist.
pianist on a show, and you guys have to figure out who it was. It was Jackman.
It's Lizzo for Shizzo. She's
Shizzo.
gonna be on this
Aside
show.
from that-
Shizzo.
Can't wait to
So
have
we
Lizzo.
met up with this guy, Barnett, Adam first name.
Oh, are you doing the
Barnett,
thing?
Adam.
Are you doing the thing right now?
I'm gonna tell him.
Yeah,
So
let's
if
tell
you're
him.
watching a video on our YouTube channel, which by the way, if you're not subscribed, we're trying to hit 1,000 up there.
Guys.
Make sure to check it out, sub,
Guys,
and join us in a pre-show,
guys.
guys.
Dan is not too proud to beg, but he's gonna do that right now.
Yeah, please subscribe.
He's tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
But Adam Barnett,
In
Sarah McLachlan's playing. Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna do it in the eyes of an angel, but like it's gonna be this in
Instead
black
of
and
trying to
white.
raise funds, we're trying to raise subs for our
Raise
podcast
subs.
YouTube channel.
So Adam Barnett made these incredible Another Woodshop podcast walnut catch-all trays
They're
with
sweet.
basically he engraved in it the white and the gold of our logo. So
It's a
there's the
double
gold shadows,
epoxy inlay.
double epoxy. So he finished this up. He did so much work because here's what he did. He carved it out. He then carved out on a CNC the shadows, poured in the gold, carved out with the white, filled that in with white. And then he finished it with an oil that we don't talk about anymore. Then he sanded that oil and then
He
applied
sanded
a
it
different-
off.
Yeah, he sanded it off for us. So this
I
man
never
is
would have done
committed
that for anyone.
for anyone else. He wouldn't have done
I
that.
would have just told people I sanded
What-
it off.
What are you guys using your catch-alls for, Pete?
Me?
Yeah, what
Now
do you-
Atomic right now.
No. What are you
Oh.
using your catch-all for that you got from Adam?
I want to use it for my keys and my wallet, but I don't want to scratch it up. I'm being a total customer.
I'm using mine to throw loose pepperonis in.
I put my nuts in mine. I like dry salted peanuts, so I just put my nuts right on there.
Nice.
Thank you, Adam. So just wanted to get to that joke.
Thank you for that subtle joke in there.
I like to bring them in real subtle. You just put a nice nut sack on there, just grab it right off the.
I just threw away a nut sack.
Yeah, I'm still finding nut shells in my shop from Dan.
Nope.
But yeah, so let me get back to this. If you want to try to win this one of a kind, another Woodshop podcast catch-all tray, you can only win one by tuning into the pre-show next week. That is next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. We don't talk about Mountain, and then 6 p.m. California time.
Look, the only thing that holds nuts better than Adam Barnett is an Adam Barnett catch-all tray.
Slap top of tray. This will hold so many nuts.
So many.
So many nuts in this.
Look, if you're listening to this episode a long time in the future, you missed your opportunity.
Sorry, you missed it.
Yeah, you screwed up.
But if the long time in the future is Monday, when this episode drops for everyone, tune in on the pre-show this week. Shar will be there. We will be making a lot less catch-all tray nut jokes.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's accurate, Pete. I think I'm going to double down hard next week on catch-all tray nut. Yeah.
But make sure to tune in next week. Bring all your friends. Log in your grandma on her iPad so that we're getting extra views. And ye will be giving away a secret catchphrase. Actually, no, we're just going to, secret catchphrase.
AWP is huge.
Is going to pick a winner on that episode.
Spina bifida. Sorry.
Spina bifida. That's it. Tune in next week. Go follow us on YouTube. We're trying to hit a big milestone, 1,000 subs. And then maybe one day we're monetized if you guys watch us enough. Love you.
That's it.
That's it. That's my end of my spiel. And Lizzo.
Do we have this code word yet? Did we say it?
Oh no,
we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it all live.
I just assumed it'd be Lizzo.
No, we're gonna do the code word.
Oh, it's gonna be a pre-show.
Live.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
They have to tune in pre-show to enter, get that thing, and then we're gonna probably raffle it off in the actual pick the winner in the episode.
You know how we do. We do the code phrase, and you'll email us the code phrase, and then that's how we gather everybody's emails and we sell it off to like Meta and stuff.
Yeah. Oh my
God. We sold it to Amazon. We made $19 on the last bid or the last auction when we auctioned off your emails that you gave us.
We made $19.17 to be exact.
That's right. Which is amazing because that's when World War I ended, 1917.
Oh, yikes.
I don't know if that's true. So as we said earlier, actually I was asking, we don't have a jingle, right? Okay. All right.
We should get one though.
Dan, we were going to record something. We were saying like, oh, this needs to be a jingle. I forget what it was.
In a minute, voicemail. Voicemail.
I was going to do a little regulator action, you know.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Sing
You good at that one, huh?
Give me 2 lines of that song.
I'm pretty good at it. I don't know about you.
I've been very clear that I'm not. And what did you do with that information? Stay tuned for more on the Maker Camp segment.
Regulators! Mount up!
What?
It was a clip. No.
Here we go.
That's the dumbest.
That's the jingle. That's the jingle. I gave it to you.
No, it's great. It's great. It's great.
Regulators mount up. That's our going into voicemails jingle. You're the editor. You're the one who makes the jingles now.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I can do whatever I want. Oh, man. The possibilities. All right, let's do it.
Are endless. All right, this first question is from Lars Neilson.
Yeah, it is.
He's a drummer.
Hey guys, this is Lars Neilson, aka Avenger429 on the YouTubes and Patreon. The guy that forgot to change his name in Patreon and give you guys a good laugh about that. So I'm actually calling in one to thank you guys for this podcast. It's been my new favorite podcast for a few months now, at least.
I feel like we owe him an apology.
And it's been probably, sadly, the most helpful podcast I have ever listened to in the woodworking world so far.
Shut up! Don't tell him there's other podcasts.
That's just because I'm able to pay attention to it, and because I have ADHD, you know, throwing in the dad jokes, we'll call them, every so often really makes it easy to pay attention. So thank you for that. And two, to thank Pete for his Etsy video on YouTube. Pete, that was super helpful.
Awesome.
And getting Etsy, already set up. So I'm still trying to figure out other things, but that doesn't matter. You helped me a lot. So, so my question is, what do you guys do for shipping from Etsy? Do you use a PO box? Well, shipping from and to, I guess, to yourselves. Are you just using a PO box, or using something else? My wife is concerned that if we use our address or even a PO box, just because it's in the same, it would be still in the same city. If I use the PO box, somebody could look up in public records, name, city, and especially since my name is not super common in the United States, it'd be pretty easy to track down where we live. So I don't know if you guys just use PO boxes, or if you're using some other method for shipping, and if you are just using PO boxes, have you had any issues with random people showing up other than Dan, who I'm assuming they're just trying to
20 more seconds left on this call
for the new Feet Finder app and funnel away some money?
He's a first time, long time. I'll allow it.
But other than that, if you guys have any issues, random people showing up or making threats or any weird things like that, let me know. Thank you.
20 more seconds. No. Thanks, Lars. Tighten them up next time. Appreciate the call. Tighten it up a little bit. Bring it just a hair. But no, that is a very good question.
We do love
and
the voicemail,
actually,
though. But yes.
No, yeah, for sure. Thank you for the
Sweet and
voicemail.
to the point.
Yeah, short, sweet to the point. But you know what? I think the best person to ask about this is, of course, Daniel Dunlap.
Oh.
I mean, this day and age, people can find you. I mean, you can get a PO box. I know
with Liam Neeson, he'll find you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's got the special set of skills.
Special set of skills. Yeah,
I've seen it. I thought that was a documentary.
Set of skill.
I'm gonna jump in front and say, I believe Pete has a PO box. I don't know about Mike. I do not have a PO box. I've thought about it. It's just not super necessary. I mean, like I said, you can be found. I mean, the weirdos are gonna find you, unfortunately, if they really want to. It's just another hurdle, I guess. I have had somebody in the past. It was like a year and a half ago or whatever. I haven't talked about it much, just because I don't want to encourage that sort of behavior. I had somebody just show up and they were like, "Oh, hey, what's going on? I just thought I'd swing by. I was in the neighborhood," and I was like, "Oh, this is weird."
Who was it? Oh yeah,
I'm not. No, we're not going into it.
Nick Brim. Now you guys are dating.
Perhaps.
I mean, that is how you guys met. He lived a block away.
Well, he
breathed heavily until the phone was like, "I know where you live."
He recognized the neighborhood. He was like, "Wait a minute." But no, I'm not talking about Brim. I don't have a PO box. Basically, long story short, I don't have a PO box. I'm not super worried about it. If somebody showed up here unexpectedly and wanted to do harm or whatever, they're gonna have a bad time. I'll just leave it at that.
What if they come over and they drink beer in front of your house?
Also gonna have a bad time.
Well, to the first question now, what about for shipping? What do you use for shipping? And
just my home address.
So I guess, was he also asking what do we use for shipping? Like what kind of service?
No, I think he was just asking where we ship.
No, he was asking if we have how we ship, using a PO box or from our house.
I thought he was just asking what
he's concerned about people knowing where he lives. I think so.
No, it was just a security question.
Yeah, this day and age with social media and everything else, I mean, you're out there. People can find you. Unfortunately.
Well,
go ahead, Mike.
Throw it to whoever you're gonna throw it to. Okay, I was gonna say I can't imagine an Etsy situation where someone's gonna come to your home, because they're not local. If you're shipping it to them, for one, so they're not going to be like, "I'm hopping on a plane over this cutting board that turned into a taco in my dishwasher after I was specifically told not to wash it in the dishwasher. I am flying to this person's home, and I'm going to ask if this rag smells funny."
You'd have to respect the dedication, though. I mean, I'd be like,
at that point, you might as well tell them where you live.
That's like a Peter Griffin move right there.
Yeah, that's some commit to the bit energy. No, I mean, just from Etsy, I wouldn't worry about that. I would worry if you have 1 million followers on your combined social media channels and people try to start looking for you, but through Etsy, I just wouldn't worry about it. Just, I do not have a PO box. Actually, I was laughing because I just realized that I actually do still have my old PO box. I never shut it off when I moved.
They filled with
So
contour gauges.
Yeah,
and
it's
sticker
just
swaps.
it's just, oh, it probably is a ton of stickers.
But
I haven't been there in a year. I need to go check.
It's probably full of stickers.
Yeah, they're
They're just shoving stickers in at this point, and they're just compacting.
Oh, probably renewed and you didn't even know it.
Oh, it was for sure renewed, and I didn't know it. They're gonna roll a radio flyer out full of like stickers and stuff. Whoops.
Or even worse, it would just be like one.
Oh no, that'd be way great. I hate sticker swaps. They're the stupidest. But anyway, it was I do have a PO box, but I didn't get it for like security reasons. I just got it. I felt like that was the thing to do, but I don't see that as an issue anymore. So I don't have one. I just don't really care. I don't see it being an issue. I mean, I have a separate business address for my business, but it's still my property. The problem is I'm an S corp, and literally anyone can Google that and see the public records for it. So it doesn't matter. So it's so easy to find people.
Yeah, and like I talked about in the pre-show, I mean, if you own your own house, or if you have a mortgage or whatever, that can be looked up too. I mean, there's no hiding. Live in a box.
Well,
hide your wife, hide your kids.
So Lars of 487 Paulson Street in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Woo, that's not cool to do.
By the way, that is lovely sighting, and your left rear tire looks low. I'm making all that up, by the way. That's
he binged it.
Imagine. No,
you just binged Lars Ulrich, and it came up.
Dan are 100% correct. If that information is out there, that like the second I registered my LLC, I got just tons of spam because this is all public record now, and people were just, they got my home address. Now, for when we moved here, I made a conscious choice of getting a PO box. So that was something I wanted to do because I wanted to do all of my shipping as my return address. So sometimes I'll go over there once in a blue moon. There's a package that came back that didn't make it, and my mail lady was just like, "Oh, I got a package for you, whatever." I can't remember last time.
Dolores.
Yeah, Dolores just gives me the box. Like today, she gave me one from Victor. Actually, sent me something.
Gives you the box, huh?
I'll do a story.
I wanted to make a joke so bad, but I'm like, no, I'm above that.
Yeah,
I'm not.
So the PO boxes, and also like if you've never had a PO box, you go in. There's different sizes, and basically think about like how often are you going to be able to go to it? Because most of us can get away with the small one. If you get a package, they put a slip in there. Basically, the reason you get a bigger one is so that after hours, or if there's a long line, you don't have to wait to give them the slip to get your package, giggity. You can just get it from your PO box. So I have like a medium sized one. So if a box comes back, it gets put in there or whatever. Now, so I have it. And yes, one of the main reasons I got it was because I wanted to minimize the number of people that had my return address. I also wanted to minimize the number of people that knows where
it's like
Emma lives too.
It's like a lock on your front door.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll stop people. It's just another hurdle. If somebody really wants in, they can kick in the door.
Yeah. And like legitimately one of the concerns that, you mentioned your wife being worried, and like, I get that because not that most people are very decent. They're not going to just show up at your house, but Emma gets weird comments. And like, I don't know if you guys have ever talked to other like female woodworkers and makers in a community, but they get like weird requests in their DMs, like sugar daddy type stuff. Like we get contour gauges. They get like, I just want to buy you things with your address, and like and a lot of them are like actually legit. It's super creepy. So for the protection of me and my wife,
revenue stream,
my family, like,
yeah, I'm like, is that a thing I can?
Real creepy. But I basically, yes, I did get a PO box, and then also I use that as my return address for all of my pirate ship packaging, Etsy stuff. So like whatever goes out, that's the return address. So if they want to murder me over a 3D printed part, it can't find me. That's basically it. I think that was the sole question, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Get a PO box. They're cheap. They're like $100 a year.
The next question is from the guy who made the valet
questions.
Tray.
Oh,
what? He has multiple questions.
He made all the questions.
Oh, he made all the questions.
He makes questions.
Barnett.
It's Adam Barnett.
Hey guys, Adam here from Barnett rebrand Barnett Builds. So my question this week is, what was your favorite part of Maker Camp? I know for me, it was just connecting with everybody in the community and being in person. You know, I've been on Instagram and all these platforms for so long, and seeing everybody through a glass screen, actually being in person and hanging out with people was just amazing. Let alone all the classes, all the hands-on building. It was so cool, such a great experience. Even Kim got into it. She started her own Instagram today. It's Kimmy Creates Crap. I think it's the greatest name.
Brands will
the
love
whole
it.
experience was a blast. So what was your guys' favorite part other than getting to hug me?
Dan, favorite part?
I don't remember if I hugged Adam or not. That might have been during the incident.
I 100% hugged Adam.
I may have.
I'm
I
a
don't
hugger.
recall. Anyway, if I didn't hug you, Adam, I apologize.
I mean, you had a
profusely.
profile photo.
Yeah, Adam nailed it. My favorite part is obviously seeing everybody interacting with people and just having a good time. Actually, I think my favorite part was the karaoke-ing. Karaoke-ing?
You
Is that a
remember
word?
that?
I remember some of it. I
It's
remember
pretty spotty.
I remember Mike not doing so well.
No,
Loser.
it's bad.
How many songs do you remember singing?
I did 3 songs, I think. I
That's
did
all you remember, huh?
Regulators with Mike. I did Islands in the Stream with
Outstanding.
a female.
Fading out. Whoa.
And I did Picture, the Kid Rock and Carol Sheryl Crow song with another female. I don't remember who they were.
Really special moments, huh?
Yeah,
Real
it was
core memories, huh, Dan?
super core memories. But that was
Adrian
fun,
was
and I
one of
enjoyed
them.
it. Did I do a song with Adrian?
So Dan drank a lot.
Cool. So I must have did 4 songs. Okay, at least. Anyway,
Okay.
Pete, what was your favorite part?
If you listen to last year's episode, and you should just listen, go back in time and listen to it.
What
I said
episode
I'm-
number was that? Give me
Yes.
give me a
count roughly 50 back from today. That's it.
78.
Yeah, so it's in the 70s. Yeah. So last year, I remember this. My answer was I missed handshakes. Because like that was the first time we like came out of like
Oh,
COVID,
right.
and we were like, is this okay? And everyone was like, are you shaking hands? Are we hugging? This is great. Yeah, but like COVID was still in like full swing. I think on Sunday there was an outbreak. A bunch of people got it too. That was rough.
Last year.
Last year. This year, I like honestly just seeing everyone, giving big hugs, meeting a lot of the people that we talk on a regular with every single day. This year it was a lot bigger of a turnout. So just seeing all these people really was genuinely like one of the best things. Like hugging Adams, yes, was top 5, definitely. But also I got to meet and talk to Simone Yacht, or Simone Gertz, as some people call her. That's her English American spelling of her name.
Oh, I see.
And
You're
Laura
flexing
comes,
on
and,
us.
like I met him. We took a photo. We got to chatting. Emma like grabbed me. She's like, "Hey, I got them. You want to say hi?" I was like, "Yes." So I love both of them. I love all their content. I've been watching it for years. So it was like really cool to like see them. But then literally not 5 minutes later, I just walked up to Jimmy and was just talking to him like we've been all war buddies, which is crazy because last year we were barely had the courage to ask him to be on our podcast. How the turntables. It's just crazy to see how over the years, like we've grown as people. We've gotten
Over the
closer
year.
to community. Over the year, we've gotten closer to community, to all these people. Like having Jackman over my house, and then remembering like years ago being too shy to say hi to him at the woodworking shows. Like seeing how close we all have gotten in this community, that we can just walk up to a stranger and hug them and have
Make a fat
conversation
joke or
for
something.
an
Yeah.
hour. Yeah, make a fat joke. But like talk to these people for an hour like we're best friends. It really was just such a genuine time. That was my favorite part. Aside from I got to weld for the first time. That was awesome. It was the worst of all of us, but still. Mike, what was your favorite part?
I was thinking about this today, and I did a story about it earlier, but like it's the same answer. I mean, it's community. It's spending time with like-minded folks, who have similar passions. So I've been really having a lot of like reflective thoughts in the last few weeks about just like what's really important and what I need to focus on with my time in my life and things like that. So it really is, it's amazing how important this community is to me, and how much the people from this community that I have gotten close to, how much they mean to me. It's really incredible. Like the people that I've gotten close with in this community are like the people I'm closest with, full stop. So it's really amazing.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
It's pretty special thing. So when we had to leave on Sunday, I was just bummed out, and there's people there. There's people there that weren't there that I missed, that I wanted to be there super bad from the community that I just love being around. And I can't wait for the next event already, and I was kind of like, I was pretty 50-50 on it. Actually, I was pretty much a no for a while because I was just worried I couldn't make it happen. And honestly, we'll go into it in the show, but having the Airbnb and not having to stay like in the accommodations there made a big deal. It was a big change for me because I don't want to sleep in garbage. Like I want to get done. For me, like it's hard to be on the whole day. Like you have to be on the whole time you're around a bunch of people.
Yeah.
When we've got to just leave and then go back to the house and just turn it off and then just go to bed.
Yeah.
That was also very nice. So,
or what we did last year, pull the Keith Johnson drive back at the end of the day.
Yeah. I don't know. Keith's crazy.
Went home and came back later. Oh God.
Yeah. So it's like, and then like just seeing everybody so nice. Like, it's just so great. Those relationships are,
you guys.
It's fine. No, it was really great. I mean, it was just getting that time with the community is just so good. So it's really hard to overstate. Anyways, that was Adam's question. That was all of us, right?
Yeah.
Kimani, here's Kimani's question.
Well, look who's back. I didn't think you guys would show up the way you've been basking in the afterglow of Maker's Camp in your stories. The way Mike strokes his beard every time he thinks of it.
He just stroked his beard now.
Family program. Anyway, I plan on going to Maker's Camp next year, and I have two questions. One, what do you think the overall roundish number is for someone to attend Maker's Camp? And I know some of you flew and you rented an Airbnb, so a nice roundish number to kind of plan ahead for the year. And two, I know you guys also shared an Airbnb, and so this question's for Dan. Nick Brim, big spoon, little spoon. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, I just ran some quick numbers.
Little spoon.
I figured, yeah. I figured
Mike's answering the Brim question, but go on, Mike.
Yeah, I'll answer. Yeah, I ran some quick numbers. It's like if you're West Coast, like Kimani is West Coast, like me, it was like $700 flight. And then it's $250 to get tickets for all 3 days. I think it was what it was, 220 or something like that. And then it was, you kind of want to probably figure $150 a night for your room. So I came up with about $1,500. So it's not a cheap thing. So, but I will say it's worth every penny.
It's an investment.
It's an investment.
It really is.
I don't even know if it's an investment. I think it's just a great time.
So
it's an investment in your social presence.
Some things to consider with this event. It is in a very remote area. So Albany is about 30 miles away. It's about a 45-minute ride. That's the closest airport to it. And it's a major airport, which is nice. So you could fly into Albany and then rent a car or coordinate with someone that's in the area. So if you are trying to save a little bit of money and you've got some friends in the community.
Probably going to do that next time, to be honest.
Yeah. I'll fly into that. And I
think I'll fly into Albany next time and coordinate rental cars with people.
Go straight to the Airbnb then.
It's just, I think it'd be better next time. I think it's just such a hassle for you to have to go to the airport like that. Yeah. It's not close at all.
It also depends on what kind of what time can you fly and how many connections there are. Because Mike is literally the worst case scenario because his flight was a little more expensive because it was also direct flight. But I know you could also fly from Sacramento to Newark with connections for less, but then you're paying.
Some of them were more.
Oh, really? Oh, geez.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
For 400 as well. So it depends on time of year and all that. But the getting together with someone else, a lot of people were everyone was pushing rent the RV and have it set up on site and all of that. And that's a great solution too, because you're physically on site. You kind of have your own accommodations you have your own accommodations. But the Airbnb really was a win. So if you can pair up with some community members that are in the area, especially that have a car already, you're saving yourself on a car rental. Mike didn't have to worry about car rental. You know, he didn't really have to worry about like doing every meal, whatever. Me and Emma prepped a bunch of stuff, you know, so it was a little easier as well. But I think $1,500, if you're able to save some money, that's your top line, but like top of the line budget. Like that's it. That's kind of the top part of it, unless you're really going bougie and get a nice hotel or something.
I agree with the $1,500 sentiment. I mean, that sounds about right. Even with me, I believe Nick and I spent $385 on tickets, but we also had to drive to Kansas City, which is 2.5 hours south of where we're at, and fly out of there. We did that simply because the flight was cheaper and it was a direct flight to Newark, which was nice because we didn't have to make any stops.
I just
Mike,
found a flight.
Something?
Yeah, I just found a flight. I just looking just because I actually we hadn't looked at the option of Albany when the three.
Yeah,
of us.
we've never even thought of it. Always been we're gonna go to Pete's.
Yeah.
So, I mean, $500, one stop. That's really cheap. I mean, it's really cheap. So, but the I think the train of thought that we had was the last time we went, we were already staying at Pete's.
Yeah,
so that made the most sense. So
Maker Camp was an afterthought our first year. I mean, we realized, Maker Camp's happening. We should do this.
Right. So this time we kind of tacked on what we previously did. I think if we had spent better time thinking about it, it would have made more sense for Dan and I and Nick to fly to Albany, and the three of us get a rental car and drive in. It would have been less of a hassle for Pete and Emma. So there's
I don't mind being a hassle to Pete and Emma, to be honest. I really don't.
Right. No one assumed you did. So but hold on. I actually look at this. We'll talk about it later. So yeah, there's actually better prices.
Yeah, and to give people an idea, like for the 3 nights at the Airbnb we did? 2 nights.
2 nights. We did 2 nights.
We did 2 nights. So 3 days at the Airbnb for all of us was $950 or something like that.
Yeah.
So like if you're doing it with like just 2 people, like that's $500. Like it's
but we split it like
nice big for it anyway.
5 ways.
Makes a little sense, but like you want to go with friends.
Right.
You know, you want to split that. But we had gorgeous views. We had a lake.
It was
like our own lake. So it was pretty nice. And it's not like this is like a luxury resort. It was a good place to sleep that was away from the noise, and everyone had their own bathroom.
Yeah. It was super nice. It was super nice. And everyone, almost everyone had their own bathroom. Yeah, we all had our own bathroom. Me and Nick had to split a bath. It doesn't matter. And then the snoring or the cuddling, was it was me and Nick. Nick and I.
Do you want to talk about that now since we're out?
Yeah, I want to go straight into this right now.
So they ran a massive generator, like a 30,000 BTU generator.
It was a three-phase rotary induction motor generator.
Yeah.
But it's Dan's nose. And Nick thought that like we were being silly talking about Dan snoring. Dan dies every 10 to 15 seconds while he's sleeping at night. Sorry. Dan stops breathing every 10 to 15 seconds.
He then restarts almost immediately.
Oh, he's almost back almost immediately. There's almost no gap. Maybe 5 seconds
is like a minute to me.
No, but Dan snores a lot, and it's or not a lot. It's just loud.
He snores. Loud. I mean, he snores. That's it.
It's pretty loud, Pete.
Sorry, Dan.
Let's not downsell.
We love you a lot.
But anyway,
we have to
enough of that.
I'm going to get it checked out.
The point is that means he's not gonna. Heads up. But the point is Nick slept with me in the bed with me the whole time, and Nick's very gentle. He's very gentle. He'll say that.
I'm just imagining like the perfect short would have been like Nick opens the door, and then like it's a shot of like his feet, and then your face, and then like the boxers drop. end of reel.
No, to Dan's credit, I've never in my life met someone who can fall asleep that fast.
Dan does fall asleep fast.
Unbelievable.
It's a talent.
Like Dan closes the door. You don't even hear like chonies hitting the ground or nothing. Like you don't even hear. It's just like
they're not weighted chonies, man. They're made of cotton. You ain't gonna hear them.
Unbelievable. Like it was just unreal. Like just unbelievable. Anyway,
but it's fine though. They built like a little like wall out of towels in between, so it was cool.
Nick and I? No, we did not.
I was trying to cover for you, man.
No, it was gross.
And it was super hot the first night, right? So you're all sweaty. Yes. Kept taking clothes off.
Yeah.
It may have been loud in my room, but it smelled real bad in Mike and Nick's room. Just saying.
Probably. close the door. You're letting the stank out. You know what I mean? No, it was.
Meanwhile, me and Emma are in like a penthouse upstairs.
Yeah, they're in
It
a
was little-
penthouse. Like,
you guys even
chilling.
see it?
Yeah, your butler was like, "Hey, Dan's snoring really loud."
I saw the
This
video
giant
of the
room.
painting in the nursery.
Oh yeah, there was a nursery. We thought it was a closet. We didn't open it for like a day, and we're like, "Oh, this is a thing."
It's where you
Wow.
go to breast milk pump, I
It was
believe.
yeah.
Breastfeed?
There was
I can
boobies
just
on a
hear all
wall.
the subs dropping right now, hearing Dan say breast milk pump.
Hey, thank you to our sponsors, our patrons.
No, yeah. So
Mm.
Nick and I slept together. It was actually fine. I mean, it was whatever.
He's a
No big
gentle
deal.
sleeper.
No, Nick was Nick is. I think Nick drank a decent amount on Friday night. Nick drank way too much Saturday night. He had the spins real bad. So
I was keeping him hydrated.
Was he
I
holding
think.
on to the bed like this?
yeah.
Make
He
it
kept
stop, Mike.
he got up and he like very slowly walked to the bathroom. it was real
Holding the
slow
air.
how- yeah, it was real story. But anyway, it was a great time sleeping with Nick. So big thanks to Nick for being so gentle. The next question is from Thomas.
Toma.
There's one sound that no one knows. What does the
French.
say?
Hey guys, it's Thomas from France, and I'm not sure you will record a podcast tonight, or if there will be a guest, so I got a simple question for you. I'm sure you will speak about your favorite things during Maker Camp, and what I want to know is, what did you actually not like, or what did you wish you did? Also, who did the best welding job? Merci, à plus.
Dan, what did you hate about Maker Camp?
What did I hate? Mostly Adam Barnett. No, I
he's the
kid.
worst.
I kid. I don't
I'm
know
not
what I
joking.
hated. That's actually a good question.
We
I don't know.
can't
I
say it out
can't.
loud.
I can't think of anything that I hated. I love Maker Camp, all of it.
I'm texting you your answer right now. Hold on.
Okay, I'll stall a little bit.
We're not on here
They're
to
stalling,
spread hate. There's nothing I think we
stalling.
hate.
Oh
on.
yeah. I did not like that, but we're gonna keep that under wraps.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I wish it was a little warmer.
No, I enjoyed the cold.
God, it was so
I
good.
enjoyed the
It was
cold.
so nice.
Just a second.
The second night
No.
was pretty cold, but I
It was
actually
brisk,
enjoyed
but
it.
I liked it. Yeah, it was nice. It was
Yeah.
nice to. That's what I wanted out there when I'm out there. I wanted to
That
be
was
cold.
the first night of the
forced
year of the season.
everyone- Sorry.
Yeah, it was the
Oh,
first
no,
night of the
we're-
season
we're
where
keeping
you
your
know
answer. Go.
you wanted to bundle up, and
Mhm.
I kind of like that. You know, I like that feeling. Go ahead and add on to that, Mikey.
I was just gonna say it forced everyone to kind of hang around the fire pits a lot. There was a lot of people hanging around, a lot of community like time. And
Yeah.
that's what I liked. It was really
Yeah.
nice.
A lot of
And my
hugging.
hoodie still smells like smoke. You know, I love that.
So good.
I love that.
So do my
So,
chonies.
yeah.
I really can't think of anything that I absolutely hated that I can say publicly.
Ooh, I got one. Sorry.
But yeah.
I'll wait for me.
He had a second part to his question.
Oh, welding. Who did the best welds?
Oh no,
I
what did you
didn't-
wish
I
you
didn't-
did?
What do I
Oh,
wish I
what-
did? I actually forgot my camera at home. I didn't take my actual good camera, and I wish I would have brought it, but I didn't. And I took plenty of photos and videos with my phone, but I wish I would have took my camera. Pete.
So what did I not like? We all have the same answer that we can't say, but no, I was gonna say like the cold was a little, like I enjoy cold, but it was pretty crisp that one night, that second night. And we were running out of wood in some of the fire pits. I think that's when I was like, guys, let's go home. It's literally, there's no more wood. It's gonna start getting cold.
If we got super desperate, we could have took some pallets from the jackalope.
Yeah. Now the
feel
one
like-
thing I would say was probably, and Mike will agree on this one, the worst part of the whole event. The event was so great that this is the worst part, was waiting for an hour to weld.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
ridiculous. That
Yeah,
took way too
and
long.
it's like no one's fault.
It
It's
wasn't
just
an
like-
hour, dude. That was like 2 hours. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Great
It was a long
conversation
time.
with everyone, all that. I'm super glad that I did because it was my first time welding. It was Emma's first time welding, and she did actually bonkers good. But that was one part that I was like, I wish I had spent this time doing something else, but then I did, and I was like, it was worth it. It was worth it. So that was what I paid. Mike, you want to give your thing? I don't know. Did you have a thing?
The thing I don't like is going to be just the infrastructure there is pretty trashed. That's my biggest complaint about the whole event.
Though.
Oh, they just built that. That bathroom was nice.
It is new. Okay.
Yeah, those are new.
Nice.
Yeah, they weren't there last year.
They put that in. I mean, they just need to do stuff like that. The vibe is great, but I think it can retain that vibe with still having nice accommodations. So I just think they need to really invest. I like how spread apart things are. I like how all the things are broken up into big tents. I like everything. I like the vibe about the place. It's really cool. I really like the chuck wagon, like the feed line where you can go through to get the Roach Coach food. I think that's really fun and cool. I think it's a really cool thing. I like how the bar is set up. That whole community area where all the tables are is dope. Everything about it is so good. It just maybe just dump a little bit more dollars.
I have an actual answer. What I didn't like, the lack of internet or cell service.
That's a really good point, Dan. It is
boosters.
It is they just need cell boosters out there so bad.
No one did any content.
It's a bunch of content. It's a bunch of content creators, and
you can't get a signal. You can't.
It's so bad. I was fortunate. It looks like AT&T does good. I mean, I had all right signal out there, but
Verizon, nada.
Yeah,
nothing.
It was rough. Like, I don't know if anyone else was like watching the content creators or all of us, like whoever was at the event, like they barely posted. People kind of did a dump at the end.
Yeah, because you could go to the lobby or the big cafeteria. They had Wi-Fi over there. You could go over there, but you'd have to walk like a quarter mile.
And here's the thing: the main tent area where the kitchen and the bar was, that has Wi-Fi, but it was trash when everyone else was on it.
Yeah, I mean, if there's 100 people there trying to use the Wi-Fi, it's not going to be any good. So
I actually have something that a huge complaint, and I'm surprised more people weren't upset about this. This is kind of trash, and honestly, if they don't fix this, I'm not going next year.
Here comes the joke, guys.
It's not a joke. Where the F are the funnel fries? Where the funnel are the fries? The funnel fries that they did with the powdered sugar last year, they were incredible. They didn't have them this year. I was legitimately upset.
Oh, really?
Cancel Maker Camp. Cancel Maker Camp. No, that is a real bummer they didn't have those, but those cheese curds weren't terrible. And then to answer Tomas' question, I didn't really do anything I didn't want to, or I didn't not do anything.
I literally just got a message from my wife from downstairs that says, "Yes, thank you for complaining about the funnel fries. It's a big thing. People are talking about it."
Yeah, it's trending on Twitter. Yeah, those two. No, I didn't do anything. I did not do anything that I did. I don't want to do glass blowing. I didn't really care about leather or sewing. I mean, no offense, Ethan. I love that you do it. I just don't care to do it. Welding, I did. Oh, that's not true. I didn't get to turn with Pat. Pat was gonna do ghost style. We were gonna do he was gonna teach me how to turn, and I didn't get to. It was just too busy. It was just too busy, and he was gone half the time. And who knows? Everyone's just walking around. That's the thing. It's such a great time. It's so if you have any level of ADD or ADHD, I don't know, whichever one it is. If you have either one of them, it's really hard to focus on anything.
COPD.
Spina bifida. No, it's just really a tough.
ABC anyway, BBD. That was a Belle Biv DeVoe reference. I'm sorry.
I almost made a joke that I shouldn't. Anyways, yeah, it's such a great event. So, everyone answered that, right?
Yeah.
I didn't do
all
that.
right,
I wish.
I'll be
quick.
Oh.
I actually wanted to do the leather working with Ethan. I didn't get to do it. I was really bummed out about that. Just not enough time. I think that's another complaint. Just I felt like there was not enough time.
We didn't roll in late a lot. Like every day we rolled in super late. I mean,
we don't want to point any fingers at why, but we were kind of late.
We rolled in at like noon every single day, which is wasted at least 2 hours. We lost at least 2 hours per day to where we could be doing stuff.
Oh, don't blame me for that.
Nobody's pointing fingers. Are we pointing fingers?
But yeah, that turning with Pat Ghost style, because I saw Sam did it and I was super upset that I didn't get to do it. And what was it? Oh, I didn't do any blacksmithing and I really wanted to. Kind of a bummer. Yeah. The best welding job was Emma, I have to say, because my wife, and also was pretty good. Well, Mike's was
it was really good stuff.
Fire. Mike was pretty fire.
Let's hit this button.
What's on my bench?
At 44 minutes and 52 seconds, Dan.
I got it.
And let's talk about
you
our experiences with Maker Camp. Dan, overall thoughts, go.
Yeah, I don't know if you realize it or not, but I was at a conference all last weekend. That was pretty fun.
Is it a conference?
I don't know. That's what I was telling people.
think
How do
Makers
you describe it to people who don't know what it is? I was just telling people I went to a conference. Sorry I didn't get to your bow ties. I was at a conference. Man, I love Maker Camp so much, you guys. I love it. The overall experience, the community aspect of it, like Mike was talking about, the karaoke. Did they do karaoke last year? If they did, we weren't there. Yeah, I forgot about that. Karaoke was fantastic from what I remember. Loved every second of it. I danced the night away from what I remember.
Kayla, don't worry. It was hands off. He left room for the Lord with everyone. Was,
by the Lord, you mean
one
the
log
Lord
with
of Woodwork.
The dance? Lord of
was
the dance?
one lizard.
Lord of the dance. I was trying to think of a joke. I couldn't think of anything. Lord of the dance. Maker Camp's so great. But more importantly, let's talk about what is not on my bench. I have delivered 2 of the 12 doors. I'm just flying, you guys. Flying.
Wow. That's great.
What?
I feel like I'm moving faster than I ever have in my life. So delivered a bunch of those, doing a lot of, Etsy orders. I'm so backed up on Etsy orders, you guys. I either need
fiber. I either need
it's the cheese curds from Maker Camp.
Yeah, cheese curds from Maker Camp. Now you're all passionate orders.
I either need to extend the lead time, which I feel like would just back me up even more, to be perfectly honest, or raise prices to where
that's the answer.
It gets a nice balance.
Make the same amount of money with less work. That's the answer.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into it. And then YouTube's going great. Me and Isaiah are rocking YouTube videos. Actually, he got one done last weekend, but again, no internet at Maker Camp, so I couldn't upload anything. So that is going to be a week late.
Tuesday at 6 p.m. is the time to upload right now.
Isn't that what KJ said?
No. That's what I've been hearing from people. The scuttlebutt is Tuesday at 6 p.m. is the time.
I don't know if I can trust
Thursday,
you.
Friday. That was
a couple of YouTube groups I'm in independently said the same thing.
Really interesting.
Yeah, I meant to tell you that.
So I'll have a video tomorrow, which is not Tuesday. It's a Friday, and it'll probably be at noon. So it'll probably what's that word? Tank.
Lowered expectations.
I've been doing a lot of shorts though. I've been killing it in shorts over on YouTube. I got one. I uploaded one last weekend that got like 190,000 views. I was like, whoa, hello.
Hello.
I've monetized that. That's like $2. So hey,
cool.
That's awesome.
Coffee's on me.
Oh baby,
Mike, I want to know what's on your bench and your Maker Camp experience.
So
we've already talked about Maker Camp so much. I don't know what else I can say.
Yeah, we can do stuff on what's on our bench. I mean, I'll do my quick recap here. First, I did want to say that Coffee Grinds now has its own website, and if you use code coffee, like my last name, I just realized that's probably confusing.
Coffee.grinder.com.
No, but if you use the code coffee, COFFEY, on the website, you get 10% off. So I'm gonna start pumping that. We're gonna run that sale to celebrate the new website, which is very exciting. So that's up and running. But what's on my bench this week is we got the first PO for the shelves from Room and Board a couple weeks ago. Everything is here for that. Matt was in today, working in the CNC shop and working on the laser. We have an order for 150 tumblers, and we're doing 115 shelves for Room and Board. So half of that got cut out of the. I don't know if you've seen my stories. You kind of seen what they look like. They're hardwood ply. They get edge banded and they have like a hardwood lip on the front. They use Hangman Products French cleats, aluminum French cleats. I buy them in bulk. I get a pretty good price on them, so that's how that goes. But we're gonna start assembly on those next week, and also this week's actually probably to kind of like pull the curtain back a little bit. This week's gonna be one of the like highest revenue weeks ever for my company. We're closing out a lot of big jobs this week, which I'm only sharing it because it feels really good. It really feels really good. So yeah, it's just really exciting to close out that much work at once. So we're also starting a bunch of work. We got the first order of the cookies from Room and Board, the coffee tables we're doing. Not the first order, sorry, the first sample order. So those are all done. Those will be shipping. They were going to ship today, but I realized that one of the cookies needed a little bit extra oil on it, so I held off on shipping today. So those will get shipped tomorrow. And then we are delivering these grounding boxes on Tuesday. This most recent batch of grounding boxes, those are coming out really nice, very primo looking. I'm really happy with the finish we've set. I think I talked about this on last week's episode. We're using aqua coat now underneath the clear, and holy smokes, it is some really impressive stuff. It's definitely an added process, so there's definitely time involved in it. But if you need a piece that looks absolutely like instrument grade finish, this stuff is it. I mean, it is pretty wild. So
it's pretty glass-like.
It looks great.
Yeah, it looks like a tabletop epoxy getting laid down on it.
It's a grain filler, you said?
Yeah, it's just a grain filler. Just a clear grain filler.
Because when
you trowel it on,
filler, you trowel it on and you buff it off, or
you have to wipe off the excess very quickly because it's water based. It dries extremely fast, and it won't blotch. I mean, you can sand it back and it's not a problem, but it will look streaky. But if you wipe off the excess, Sean's like a pro at it. He's way better at it than me because he's done it so much now. But you trowel it on with like a putty, like a plastic putty knife type of thing, and then you immediately, you only want to do like sections because it does dry so fast. But you wipe it off all the excess, and then you do that 3 times, and it's you hit it with 320 grit between coats. So we're doing 3 coats, and it really does make a difference. It's an added day of whatever, but we're not doing this with every piece. It just doesn't make sense to do it on like a satin finish. It only makes sense on a gloss finish. So we're doing it with this. It looks super
Can you
nice.
satin finish that after?
For sure.
Like
yeah, for sure you could. I actually want to try it on a piece and see how it looks. It's definitely for film finishes where you're gonna get the best. I mean, you couldn't do a hard wax oil with it because the oil wouldn't get into the grain fibers. So it would be for film finishes only. So I do want to try it on a piece with it because I do want to see how satin would look without any of the wood texture, because I've never actually seen that. So I'm sure someone's done it, but I just want to see it for myself. We have a bunch of Monopoly boxes that are just kind of in a holding pattern while we're waiting for a piece of hardware to get approved by a customer. Do you guys remember those 4 doors, those exterior carriage doors that we built like 6 months ago?
Yeah.
Yes.
5 months ago with the glass panels in there. Customer just informed me today they have the hardware finally picked out.
Oh my
So,
god! Wait,
it's been
where
sitting
are
in
these
my
doors? Are they in your
They're
shop?
sitting in the other building. Yeah, they're
Oh
sitting in
my
the other
God.
building where all the other finished
Are
pieces
you
are.
charging them storage? I hope.
No, I'm not.
Oh, right.
We were this was the last month of free storage. So that will finally be done, which will be a nice to get that wrapped up. That's nice money. And then the the dining set with the upholstery stuff on there, the upholstery stuff. The upholstery guy is I know he won't listen to this because I don't know that he knows about the internet. I went to we went to he like calls me today. Like, we already picked out the upholstery a week ago. He calls me today. He's like, or yesterday he calls me. He's like, hey, that fabric you picked out, they stopped making it 15 years ago. I'm like, dude, why did you share that with me as an option? He's like, I didn't know they canceled it. I was like, all right, whatever. So we had to pick another color out. So I don't know how this stuff's going to be in my shop for like another week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I picked
so.
Argyle.
Yeah, it's like,
They don't make it anymore.
So, and then I'm working on something right now where I might be out of country in November. It sounds like that's going to happen. I mean, I just have to basically agree to it. So I'll talk more about that. I think I actually may not be able to talk about that, but I'm sure I can. So if I have more information, I'll talk about it. If I don't end up doing it, I'll still talk about what it was. But right now, where it is professionally, I think I need to not. But that's kind of exciting what's going on. And then I'm trying to think what else there is this week. There's a lot of stuff going on, but let's talk about Maker Camp a bit. Maker Camp was amazing. Pete and Emma were very gracious hosts, very, very helpful. Suck it, Dunlap. They were very gracious. They were very gracious hosts. They
to the
made sure
airport
that
at the nick of time and at the end of time. And
plenty of time, actually. Man, I got that TSA pre-check, man.
The pre-check.
God, everyone.
I gotta get that.
That's worth every $20 you spend on it or whatever it costs, it's nothing. It's like 15 minutes of your time. Go get that thing done. It's incredible. I've been to Pete's 2 or 3 times now. I don't know.
Mhm.
I've flown into Newark a few times now. I think this is 3.
Yeah,
The security line there is horrendously bad. It's so bad. Like I've never been to a worse airport. Dan's muted. Go ahead, Dan.
That airport is so bad.
It's
I hate
the
that
worst
airport with a passion.
I do too. I
What's
hate
the
it
point?
so much.
What's your point?
What are you saying? But
What
what
are
about
you
those
saying?
bagels?
Yeah,
No,
well, forget about it. Why do you
forget
get
about
yourself
it.
into blow?
Yeah, you come,
Get off
I
that
come
crap.
bearing bagels.
Get out of the airport.
Oh,
Here's a bagel. Shut up.
You did take me to my favorite coffee shop
I did,
on the
yeah.
way out. But no, that airport really just does suck. But man, TSA pre-check, I was literally through that thing in 3 minutes. It's just so nice. It's so nice.
Yeah.
So get that done. Actually, no, don't get that done. So the line stays shorter.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get that. Don't get that. Not
Nobody
everyone
gets
get
the
that. Don't go rush to get that. I want that thing to stay short. But yeah, thanks to Pete and Emma. That was really great. They really made sure that me, Dan, and Nick were taken care of. So, and now that you mention it, you should probably like expense the cost of the food, Pete. Like you guys should probably expense the cost of the
We'll
food.
figure it out.
That
Yeah, we're doing it
Italian
right now.
soup that your wife made, that Emma made.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
that's our favorite. Yeah, it's like
That's
our
our
so
new
good.
favorite.
Oh, Thursday night thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't there.
See, that's what you
It
missed
was
out by
nice.
going into Albany, Mike.
It was so
I
good.
mean, Pete, we both I think have to agree that us flying into Albany makes way more sense, right?
I don't know,
it
because
may or may not make more sense, but you know.
it makes more sense.
But soup.
Sense isn't.
But soup.
But soup. Also,
I mean, you
Jackman,
own buckets.
I'm
Put the
pretty
soup
sure
in
I heard
buckets
him.
and bring
I can't
it.
confirm, but I'm pretty sure I heard him say, "This is amazing. We have to do this every year." Says every year he's going to come by first.
If it became a thing, then yeah, of course we'll go out there. I mean,
Yeah,
I
he's
feel
gonna
bad. You
drive
have to drive an
4
hour to
hours
the
or
airport.
5 hours towards me, then 3 hours north the next day.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll do that for
Because
sure.
we're that fun.
That much fun. No, that whole experience is amazing.
Next year I'm coming out on a Tuesday and I'm gonna stay with you for 3 days.
Oh.
And yeah, I'm gonna make a whole vacation out of it. It's gonna be great.
Okay, I'm sweating already.
flop sweats. You got the meat sweats.
I got the soup sweats. You know what I mean?
Italian soup sweats. No, it was
Italian sausage.
it was really great. It was great getting out there, Pete picking me up, getting me a bagel, getting me some coffee. That flight kind of sucks, but it also isn't that terrible, honestly. I was tired Friday night, towards the end of the night for sure, but I slept like 5-6 hours, and that's what I normally
You
sleep
should have done
anyway,
one
so.
of the daytime red eyes. I was like, that's
Just
dumb
try
on you.
it.
You flew a red eye at night instead of during the day, like an idiot.
For sure, next time I will probably fly out on Wednesday, I think, to Albany. Unless something is going down at your house, then I'll fly into Newark like
Oh, even
Wednesday.
like flying out. I guess depending on what time on Thursday, because if
I want to
if
hang
you
out
have,
with
like-
everyone Thursday, like at Maker Camp. Like I want to be up there. There's a crew.
Day
oh yeah,
early
we
crew.
got to see Jimmy's
Yeah.
and whatnot. Yeah,
Like I just want to
Thursday
go up
we
there
have to be
and-
there during the day. Yeah,
And then Monday, I just want to kind of like recover and then take a flight out that's like not so late in the day.
like noon.
Like-
So
Yeah.
we
yeah,
can
like a
land by,
midday
4
flight,
PM.
and then just I
Agreed.
don't want to like landing at midnight was rough, and then
'Cause
like
you guys
going
Dude.
straight
you
into the
both
week.
landed so
Yeah,
late.
I didn't even talk about that. Yeah, when Nick and we landed in Kansas City at midnight because it got in late, and we had another 2.5 hour drive back home. We didn't get home till 2:45. Well,
I
he got
cannot
home at
believe you
2:30.
guys
I
did
didn't
that
go home
to
till like
save
3.
$30.
It was the worst. Not doing that again. Tell you that much.
Yeah.
I will make stops.
Sorry.
in
Thank you.
Wherever.
Sorry, I had to take a drink.
No, you're allowed to hydrate.
Yeah, but it was so much fun just seeing everyone and just commiserating and having fun and talking about whatever. Pete's got his jug of water. What the heck?
What the heck is
What did
going
Pete,
on?
Pete just get done with CrossFit, or did he go down the wrong lung? Pete's got his Poland Springs gallon everyday carry on him. It is Poland
You know it
Springs.
is
I knew
Poland Springs.
Oh man, no.
I'm
Have
going
you ever
for
seen that
full
"Why does
gym
kids
bro
you know"
over here.
sketch?
Drinking out of a
Gallon of PCP. Have you seen that one? Have you
I
seen
have
that
not
gallon
seen
of PCP sketch? Oh my gosh! After we get out of this, we're gonna watch this together on the Zoom call, and we'll record it for the patrons. It's so good. Well, it'll be quick, Dan. Don't worry. I know you got to go
All
back to
right.
the shop. Pete, what about your week?
My week. So, I had some friends stop by last weekend. It really disturbed my whole schedule because I get
Oh,
a
how
lot of
is
stuff
you?
done on a weekend.
How inconsiderate.
Yeah, it's fine, but they're just trying their best. So them coming out to me is kind of the highlight of
Did they leave a mess all over your shop or anything like that?
Yeah, there's plastic parts everywhere. I legitimately keep finding plastic pieces off that stupid boat in my shop. So, I talked about this. Actually, I'm going to pimp the pre-show a lot on this because we went into a lot of like fun behind the scenes of like what happened. We kind of answered the questions and did it more formally here. We were just like legitimately reminiscing in the pre-show. So that's going to be live for the patrons. I'm going to drop it ASAP. I'll get it out this weekend. And then maybe we'll drop it a little early for everyone on YouTube. And if you want to get the pre-show and all the other video and stuff, make sure to subscribe to the Patreon. I don't know. I'm shelling out here, but it was really great having, Dan and Nick came early. Paul Jackman stopped by. We had a little fire pit. I burned pallets in front of him.
That was funny.
It was really fun.
That was hilarious.
And a great video. He came over and I had this giant pallet in front of my shop from the laser being delivered. Actually, we didn't talk about that. That happened last week. Oh my God. Yeah, oh, yeah. I have a big boy laser now in my shop. So I do what I always do is I get the thing that Mike gets, just because he's always able to get it before me. That son of a B.
Mike is your tester.
He's
tester. Making sure it works before you
and then I get it, and then Kimani gets it. That's usually the thing. So whatever tool I get, Kimani ends up getting. So that laser it's so powerful, so incredible at cutting. Engraving, it's pretty similar. I mean, what's funny is it's too powerful for engraving. I was burning through my pieces, running some test stuff. Actually, the Eric, the owner of Bubble Shoots, reached out to me to like make him some business cards. And I was doing a couple tests, and I was literally burning through it when I was engraving. I did engrave, and then when it does an outline of everything, it literally cut through the piece, and a QR code dropped out from the card. I was like, oh, that's not gonna work.
That's not how QR codes work.
Exactly. So got the laser in. It was actually like a neighborhood affair. It came on the worst day because it rained all day. We set up canopies. My neighbor was going to help me out. A neighbor who I met a week prior to that, or 2 weeks prior to that, for during the vendor event. He comes over and he's like, "Oh yeah, I have a tractor. I'll bring it over. I'll help you out." I'm like, "All right, cool." So I'm stressing out because like I just met this guy a few weeks ago. I don't know if he's reliable, whatever. I don't know how big this tractor is. This guy rolls up in this like old school World War II Ford tractor. This thing is massive. It's literally an engine. The whole thing's an engine with just wheels attached to it. And like, offloads and everything. That the neighbors come over, neighbors' kids come over, and everyone's just helping offload this pallet. It was actually a lot of fun because everyone kind of got involved and my parents were around.
And then everybody clapped.
Everybody clapped. Yeah, it was a good video. It's funny. Emma kept making fun of us because like all the boys were around. All the dads, the neighborhood dads were around. Like, oh, what's going on? What's happening? So she was playing that my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard song. Hella fun. So anyways, got this laser in the shop. It's incredible. I love it. I'm in love with it. I'm still blown away every time I see it. The old laser, I had somebody lined up to buy it. They were going to pick it up after Maker Camp. That fell through. So,
oh no.
Yeah, that's the bummer. But I have 2 or 3 names of people that were asking me online. But if you're interested, hit me up. If it's still available, it's yours. I make it a nice deal. So that's going on. Aside from that, came back from Maker Camp kind of super motivated. I always get motivated when I'm around other makers and content creators. And I got in the basement, knocked out my orders. And then on Tuesday, I think I did like 4 or 5 unique custom designs in Fusion all in one night, prototyped them and got them to fully working condition. And 2 of them are for the laser. They're these little corner guides that Mike, I'm going to be sending to you. The listing should be going up soon. And then in these hold downs for the, what are they called? Honeycomb on the laser to like just hold down your pieces so like the 1/8 inch stuff doesn't fly away. And that, I don't know what happened, but I got so many orders of not just that thing, but I think it's when you have a new listing and you get good sales on it, Etsy just pushes your stuff. So that just goes to show you guys, I've been complaining about my my conversion rate on Etsy for a while. Just add new listings, keep adding listings, always be listing ABL, because it made a huge difference. I sold more this week than I have like the last 3 weeks, which is kind of bonkers. So that, and I'm just getting caught up on a bunch of stuff because weekends are my time to work on stuff, and unfortunately, fortunately, I got to spend time with the guys, but I didn't get time in the shop. So this week I'm finishing up some honeydew list stuff and doing some more laser projects, and hopefully this weekend I'll be doing some CNC stuff because I got to flatten my wasteboard and do some jobs. So it's that. There's nothing like major that happened aside from the laser, but I'm just excited for the rest of this week because I have a lot of stuff lined up.
Awesome.
And I guess I talked about Maker Camp. It was amazing. It was incredible. I wish we had more time. I wish it was less driving. I wish it was closer.
I wish more people were there.
Less flip flops.
Yeah, there's definitely some people. There's definitely people that I wish were there for sure. I guess that's kind of it for the show.
This feels weird. We just did what's on our bench. Now the show's over.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I think it made sense for this format this week. So, join us next week.
Check out the pre-show. Oh, next week's pre-show again for if you want to get that custom catch-all tray, do that. And also that's where we shared a lot of the behind the scenes.
It's a one of a kind of four.
Four of a kind.
Four of a kind.
You will own the same tray as all the hosts of AWP.
This will have a unique grain, different than ours.
Therefore, it's one of a kind. True.
There are four because there's one.
That's the only one that is that one.
It's like a snowflake.
I'm gonna pull a fast one on everyone and keep this one and give him mine.
Ooh,
total dirtbag move.
Mine's made of pine.
Big thanks to the patrons. You guys are amazing. Next week, join us for Shar from the Wooden Maven. She will be hanging out with us and we'll be talking about wood. So join us. It'll be good. It's gonna be a good time. We'll be the show will be live for the patrons tomorrow, Dan, I think, right? Yes, tomorrow, and then Sunday for everyone else as per usual. We shouldn't be missing any episodes for a while. That's not true. I just realized that's a very specific lie. In 2 weeks, I will not be here. We won't be doing a show. And then 2 weeks after that, I also will probably not be here. Crap, sorry. But we will have a good cadence of episodes.
How's it feel to be a liar?
We'll probably throw in some best of episodes. We'll mix it up.
Yeah.
If you guys want to listen to some oldies.
We'll pull the old thumbnail episode out of the vault and throw that one up there. So anyway, we'll talk to you guys on the flippy floppy. Take it easy.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
Bye now. Bye.
I forget what I say here.
Bye.
I think you say love you long time.
Love you long time.
Bye.